fight for truck and chuck.
Yo, what up with it? What up with it? What up? People in they feelings. They in they feelings. Shots fired off the videos I put up. Let me tell you something, man. So I was just chilling, man, in the truck driving down the road, working as usual, and I had a chance to take my little 30-minute break. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, cool. So hop on a, you know what I mean? I'm always listening to JB and them. So shout out to Coach JB, Smitty, Matt McChesney, and all them, right? Shout out to them. Round of applause, man. Because they do a great job over there, man. Do I agree with everything they saying all the time? No. But they wouldn't be doing their job if I did, right? You know what I'm saying? The thing is that everybody be missing out here is the video that everybody should have been paying attention to, and not him joking about, Jake and RK, right? Because that was a joke, right? That was a joke. And I'm learning as time goes on, like maybe that was, I mean, not the right look, but look, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. If I ain't do it, somebody probably else was gonna do it, right? But they joking. And it was meant for nothing more but to light a fire underneath your butt, right? To say, do your job in the media. Everybody, you cannot please everybody in this space. I don't care who you are or what you're doing. You will not please everybody in your space, in this space. But however, you do have a responsibility to educate the audience and the casual fan as much as possible. And I also, what I mean, shout out to Coach A. He's got a video up here of them talking to a caller. And the caller was just ill-informed up on the Buffaloes, one of their new recruits. New transfers, Palin Kirkland. He was just ill-informed because whatever Buff channel he watches hyped him up so much that he even thought the guy started last year. Like, I cannot be making this up. The proof is in the pudding, like, and you know what I mean? And disclaimer and everything. Let me make, I think I got my disclaimer up there. I don't know if I still got it, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just let me make sure I show that. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I put the copyright disclaimer up there. Some videos. I'm going to show some videos. All right. I am. I just am. All right. And because I need to, because I need to, obviously, because people, first off, I want to show the video of Matt being truthful, the video that I really want to put out there, that I really wanted people to really pay attention to, you know what I'm saying? But people be so negative, and I always think of somebody hating or whatever else. So let's play this one first. All right. Let me get this pulled up. Let me get that pulled up there so y'all can see it on the screen and y'all be able to hear it. Shout out to them.
Everywhere, and Casey's about to get drafted, and Jake's starting at Houston, and Travis is starting in New Mexico, and like Tank went to Corvallis, and he's starting at Oregon State. And he was in at 5 a.m. this morning working. He looks like he's real scared of competition. They're all punks that are scared of competition. Savion's a punk that's scared of competition. And I wonder if Travis Hunter leaves early for the draft, is he scared of competition, or is he taking advantage of another opportunity?
Right.
It really bothered me, and I'm sure everybody's going to get super pissed off at me about it. What else is new? Get angry. At least I have an opinion, and I'm not just constantly cradling balls, trying to make sure that my access doesn't get taken away. That's the thing. And I'm going to say it, and I haven't said this before, and I'm going to say it now. And I don't really give a shit. I'm over it. There's a lot of people in Boulder that are just riding coattails and are so scared to say anything or do anything that offends anyone up there or has a different opinion. It doesn't even have to be offensive, just a simple difference of opinion. They are so scared to offend anybody or get on the other side of like the fence that they will literally back up anything and everything and sound like absolute homers. Like, that's not your job in the media. It's not your job in the media to be their friend. It's your job in the media to report what's going on. The media is failing. I'm over this, dog. Like, we can all go in the right direction and get shit done and win and be a big family and have criticism and constructive arguments, and like there's ways to clash and move forward. It doesn't just need to be like one way, the highway, or just like if you say anything that offends, you're out. If you
Slayed that shit. And I don't agree with everything he be saying all the time. Slayed it. Slayed it. On point that time with that. Yo, and that's what a lot of people out here was missing at is that point. Like, there's ways that you can say things, yo, without sounding like, and what he means by absolute homer is that you're just super biased to the point where you sound delusional. I seen every excuse. People, they can't come up with no other excuse. No other excuses. I've seen people say he's mad at Neely for talking about um Travis. The Travis point was on wrong. He's jealous of Neely because he's black and he's in the media. He's jealous of DNVR, jealous of Coach Prime because of the accent. First of all, he did an interview with Coach Prime. So let's get that out the way. He has an academy of offensive linemen that should be used by Colorado because that was the position they were struggling in, right? So Drake Nugent, that was up at Michigan, just won the national championship, was JJ McCarthy's starting center up there. Won the national championship. He had ties to him, trained him. Casey Roderick, Florida State University, another team that could have been in the Natty last year. Trained him. Tank, what they call Savion Washington. Matt is Matt, right? And I was a little upset at him at first because like it seemed like he was on that other side. Like he was straddling that fence, but he came out and just said that like people are scared to get their access taken away. And there's a lot of people out here riding Coach Prime and the coattails of the Buffs, and they're capitalizing off of that. I'm not hating on that, period. Do your thing. That's what you want to do. But if you're going to put out that information, make sure you're putting the information out there correctly. Because when you tell everybody that everybody's a dog or whatnot, but look, hold on. Let me rewind a little bit. There's no reason for him to be jealous. There's guys that's about to go to the NFL that he's trained. How many people are going to the NFL from? Anyway, but make sure you put the right information out because people that are homers are just saying, "Oh, Palin Kirkland, he's a dog. He's this, he's that." And speaking of that,
everywhere in
I want
cases
to show this video of it come off
about
Coach
to get
Hayes.
drafted.
It come off the Coach Hayes show. If you're not familiar with Coach Hayes, y'all go over there and y'all like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure that y'all like and subscribe to the Coach JB show with Big Smitty. But I'm gonna play this clip. It's a 2-minute clip. I'm using it. So look, this. Look, this the information. This is a caller that called in to. Let me give y'all a little insight. Called in to the Coach Hayes show, and Coach Hayes was talking about Peyton Kirkland. And every Tuesday he does a prime talk where he talks about the Colorado Buffaloes. He gives his honest opinion, right, on that. And he does on Wednesdays, he's a Miami Hurricanes fan, and he does the Miami Hurricanes show on Wednesdays, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Every Monday, it's Hayes Street. Good guy. Anyway, great guy. Let me show this real quick. I hope he don't get mad at me and strike me for it. But look, let's check it out.
Hey, can he ball? Can he a dog too?
Who?
The kid from Texas, I'm saying.
Yeah, he like 6'6", 370 pounds.
I'm saying he a dog.
Man,
He a
they say
dog.
he's a big player. He's very strong.
Mhm.
He plays right tackle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he a dog. He a dog though. He a dog too.
Yeah, he a dog. I mean, what in high school and his time at Texas, I think he got nicked up. I think he was a freshman in coming or whatever. He got nicked up, but in high school he was highly rated. I think he was like a 4-star, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a huge guy. He's a huge addition, both literally and figuratively. For that line, even if he's backing up somebody. So I think when Coach Brown said he's gonna get those big guys up front, he wasn't joking. He wasn't driving around. And like I said, he upgraded the defensive line too, as well as some people in the line at the linebacker position, as well as the defensive backfield. So, because they got a lot of guys, experienced guys from a lot of named colleges. Elite. I mean, like that from Liberty. There was a few other guys they got in the defensive backfield. So when Kamada McLean decided to transfer, or get in the portal, they didn't lose too much because they got somebody just as experienced who was I think in his conference was like first or second team, in that particular conference. So.
Got you. Real quick before I move on. Yeah, the kid that you're talking about from Texas, man. Listen, this cat was killing it, man. You should see him in the double team, right? So when he was at Texas, when he was at Texas, and when they had played Alabama, him and the guard was double teaming dudes, man, like crazy. Ain't that crazy how they was doing that?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, they some people movers. That job crazy, boy.
Right.
I know, but did you see how?
Right.
I don't think he gave up a sack last year.
No, I don't think so either. And then Texas played in the BCS. You know what I'm saying? So
he would.
Like I said, he getting guys from the BCS schools. Who participated in the BCS last year. So,
right.
Now, Coach Hayes went on to say something that I've always said in my channel, and I've said it before, but Coach Hayes said it too, and I want to give him credit for saying that. We have a responsibility out here as content creators to give right information, to research our information before we get out here and hit record on our cameras, computers, laptops, phones, whatever you use. We have a responsibility of doing that because people are watching us and listening. No matter how many less people you got, how many people are watching and listening to you. Period. Now, when I gave my evaluation on this kid, says sporadically he was used. I didn't say practice, and I should have put that detailed in there that he sporadically used and practiced. There's a lot to work on with this kid, but he has potential. But some channel that he watches said from the bus, and I'm sure it had to be from there because that's where he at. He was a 4-star in high school. I don't even believe I mentioned that. And he's that big guy. That's what they went on to talk about. And whether he's used or not, like he's a whole project. Peyton Kirkland is a whole project. His ceiling, they say, is high, but he is a whole project. Never seen a field last year. But he's a whole project, though. It's a whole project. And that's all. And that's what I was getting at with that. And being a total homer, as Matt McChesney says, leads to stuff like that. Oh, this guy coming in from Ohio State, we're getting Dalen Hand. He's back. Like, listen, Neely said it all when he thought he was throwing Dylan under the bus, and when he did throw players under the bus from Colorado, when he tried to, he dissed on the players that were coming in at the same time, but that goes over people's head. They went right over their head. So just imagine what you bringing in. Just imagine what you bringing in. If the players that and I'm just being honest, call it what you want to call it, but if the players that's coming in Colorado right now saw that interview of Neely right now and they still going over there to commit, they gotta be the most ignorantest people in the world. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. Because he literally said They don't want to compete. That's a red flag. How is that a red flag? Because the guys you getting in don't want to compete. And shout out to Rawhide Media for you, y'all, man. He said that, man. And honestly, to be honest, I heard that first from him off of this show, Coach Hayes, this exact episode. So make sure y'all check out this episode, Coach Hayes. You see his name up there, Coach Hayes. He's on YouTube. That episode of Prime Talk was very good from beginning to end. It was a lot of good conversation in that. And there's a lot of things you learn from that, but we got a responsibility out here. But when you're a homer, are very biased to a team, and you're not giving correct evaluation, a casual fan like this guy, and I'm not picking on this caller. It was just used for example, just as Coach Hayes used it for example, that we have to do our research on what we're talking about. Give as much as information correctly as possible as you can. If you don't know something, you don't know it. And if you do give incorrect information, go back and say that you did. But a lot of people won't do that because they think they know everything. And I think that's what upsets a lot of people who play sports out there. They get mad at us sports content creators because we don't correct ourselves when we're wrong. We don't do that. We don't go back and say that. And I'm sure I've done that. We do a lot of research. We do a lot of looking into. We record a lot of videos. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm my fans' point of view. A fan's point of view. Not, you know what I mean? I didn't play professional ball. Did I play semi-professional football? Absolutely, I did. Did play football at that level. Did I play pro football? No, I didn't. No, I'm not going to sit here and act like I did, but I do know the game and I love the game. And I study to make sure, and I research to make sure that I'm giving y'all guys the correct thing. Now, this is the video a lot of people got mad at and started spinning. I want to play this one too because I just thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was more like buddies just calling out buddies. Like, come on, y'all, do your job. Because the first video is saying, I'm going to play this.
Max Hess.
What'd he say?
But, well, I know the guys from DNVR. That's Ryan and Jake. Those are my boys. Like, I do shows with them all the time during the fall.
He gives love to them. Them most my boys. I love those guys. He's giving love to them. So he's playing and he's laughing. He's laughing at a comment that somebody else said. Like, I'm gonna play it, then I'll talk.
Max Hess.
What'd he say?
But, well, I know the guys from DNVR. That's Ryan and Jake. Those are my boys. Like, I do shows with them all the time during the fall. Those are Dion's two biggest meat eaters right there.
I was wondering, I'm like, what is Matt laughing at?
I knew you knew him, man. That's why I never really called it out. Did they ever play anything? Did they ever play football?
Who?
Those guys?
The DNVR cast.
No.
I didn't. I already said it myself, Matt. So I just wanted to hear it. Hey, Matt, like seriously, when Dion's talking, this is what they do. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
ever
Yes,
played?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do that one more time, JB. How they be doing that, Jay? That's funny.
Hell yeah. They're going to enter the portal.
Oh.
Like, what are you talking about? You don't even play.
Look, I love them both, but this is what I was talking about yesterday on your show and on my show. Like, the media is so fucking worried about saying something that offends someone up there that they're just like, they walk into everything and they're like, put him in there. And he walks up and cradles the balls and he's like, all right, Jake, get over here. And he's like, oh.
Now, what I didn't play was, and I should have recorded the whole segment, but at the end, he was like, look, I love them guys. They know I'm just playing around with them or whatever else. And that's it, man. You know what I mean? Like, they friends. They know each other. But people going to take it how they want to take it anyway. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't put it out, somebody else probably would have clipped it or would have went out and people would have had something to say about it regardless, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but the fact is that the channel is like that. And a lot of people know that. And a lot of people are probably scared to say that because they don't want their access taken away. You know what I'm saying? They people do not want their access taken away because there is a lot of people that are doing that. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. There's so many people that's eating off just the buff name, period. That don't even know where Boulder, Colorado is. Don't even know where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And literally based their whole channel, their whole social medias off of the Buffaloes because they're popular in everything they do and they capitalize off it, which is smart. It's not dumb, but I'm just saying, like, don't when you put the things out there and they're talked about the most because they put out something every single day on the Buffaloes, on the Buffs, every single day. So yes, it's a sports team in the Power Five that puts out media on the team every day. That is something to talk about every single day if you choose to. And you're not wrong. Because if I'm putting this video out there for public consumption, people are going to have something to say on it. I can't get mad at that. Whatever you say is whatever you say. You're entitled to your opinion. All right, period. Now, that's all of us have out here. Sometimes people get it wrong, and sometimes a lot of people out here don't do research. That's why I got it. Shout out to Tony the Closer for the hat. I hate scammers a lot because there's a lot of people out there that do that. They talk real good. They get on camera. They talk real good to y'all, and they sound like they know what they're talking about. They got, enthusiastic, and they got a good vocabulary, know how to use words and sound good, and they tell you everything you want to hear, and they grab you, and there's a lot of people out there that do that, a whole lot of people, and they do your thing. If that's what it is, that's what it is. But don't get mad at us for calling it out and pointing it out. Don't do that. Like, I can't stand that. Like, it's just it don't work that way, If we living in a fantasy world, that's what we do. But there's all these comments and stuff he's getting is just, it's a lot of it don't make sense to me. It's just dumb. Like, it's just dumb. But look, yeah, I wanted to clear that up a little bit.
Mac-
And I've been refreshing this because I just been getting hit up about this video non-stop, man, non-stop. But look, man, I'm up out of. I'm about to get up out of here, man. But one thing I want to say is that I want to repeat it again. Been gone for 20 minutes. We have a responsibility to the casual fans. Y'all be responsible for that. Be responsible. Try to be. And if you don't know something, you don't know it. Because we all got opinions. That's all we got out here. Now, is your opinion based off of a fact or something that you heard from somebody else? Because you can hear something from somebody else, but then you got to go fact check them. You got to go research, gather information, and then upon the information that you gather, you spew out a hype, which we learned in elementary school was a hypothesis, right? Right. So that's what that is, period. And that's what I like to use as hypothesis because opinions make people mad. But thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure that y'all tune in tomorrow night. We're going to do fans' point of view tomorrow night. We're not going to do it. We're going to do it every other Saturday. No, and I got to update the schedule. But tomorrow night, we're going to jump on the draft. Make sure that y'all tune in and support. Appreciate it. Until next time, y'all ready know how to keep giving it up.
Wanna see Truck and Chubby live and co-host Shed? Tune in at Fans Point of View, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. But in the meantime, in between time, enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit your notification bell for all updates. Thank you for watching.